Oof. Okay, where are we at here? Let's six. A few more minutes. All right. Greetings. We are playing tonight. This evening we are playing Dragons Down. Dragons Down is a upcoming board game. It has just recently been kickstarted. Um, Theoretically coming out this fall. Uh, the creators of the game and a community member have put together. Hey, JJ, what's up? Good evening. Have put together this tabletop simulator mod, and so we're going to play three hands 401k investment. Uh, yeah, I manipulated some stocks today, so I felt good about where I was. um, So we're playing three hands, and I haven't played this game in a while, and they've done rule updates, I'm sure. So I'm gonna mess it up. But we're gonna play as best we can. Given that caveat, I need to give him two hearts too. So we have three characters here. You can see down in the bottom, I have them, and up top, I have the human bard. The human bard has a reasonable attack speed, a little bit slow on her feet. Um, she has decent armor to start and a short sword. Um, Theron, hey, well, it's technically not a single player board game. I'm just playing three hands, so it is a multiplayer board game or solo. You can easily play this solo, so it shares a lot with my favorite game of all time, board game Magic Realm, in that you can easily play it solo because you can play against the board very effectively. I also play that multiple handed too because I like sort of the race aspect of it. Um, so that's what I'm doing here. Yes. I don't know how many like ultimately it will support. There are if you have this in the expansion, there's 12 characters, but I imagine you only get so many of these boards and so on in the physical game. So we have the human bard. Like I said, little, reasonably quick attacks. Sometimes I play against myself, but still end up losing. Slow on her feet. Her powers are, since she's human, she gets one extra action, 5 instead of 4, if she is in a civilized clearing at any time during the turn. And then if she ends her day in civilization, she can effectively roll a die and maybe make some money or make some fame because she is performing. She has gold magic, a tiny bit, represented by this cube here up top. And she took the spell hesitation. The target suffers -1 maneuver speed next time they're attacked, not cumulative. Now, this spell is targeted, so it has to hit. So there you go. And we'll get into the rules as we go. The second character is the Halfling Knight. Now, these are all random. I just literally picked 2 random cards from the combinations. Halfling and Knight might not be what you would pick to go together. Again, he's reasonably fast in the attack, a little bit slow on the defense. Is wearing chainmail, shield, and a sword. No magic, reasonably burly. She is reasonably, I say weak, quote unquote, as you can tell. So the red cubes are the might cubes. These are the speed cubes, the brown ones. So she's fairly weak. Everybody has 7 cubes in total to start. So you'll see here, he is pretty fast, pretty strong, a little faster than strong. And we'll get into that as soon as we fight. The rune sword here, the half-elf rune sword. So the rune sword. Oh, and the halfling's powers here are stealthy. So when he hides, he can re-roll 1 die. And healthy. So when the knight rests, he rests an additional cube, and we'll get into that. The half elf gets to pick whether they take an elf power or a human power. She took the elf power, which is to get an extra spell at the start of the game. And so the rune sword here, very fast attack, and again, pretty slow. So all these characters are pretty slow as far as their defense speed goes. We'll see how that plays out. Oh, and she gets an extra cube, which she took a gray cube. Sorry, because elves, half elves get a magic cube of any color. She took gray. That rounds her out to 7 cubes. So, the rune sword's power is that they can use a blue magic cube on any magic box on a treasure card. We'll see if she finds a treasure card. We'll see how it goes. So over here, so this is the start. There's an explore mode, which is what we're playing, and I sort of do a cheesy start. I sort of added to the start. Normally, everybody would start in the same spot that's here, but when I play multiple handed, I like to make sure everybody started separate. So I rolled off. The knight got to pick. He picks to start on the town, the sanctuary here, because you get access to the smuggler and the crone NPCs. They can sell you stuff. They can give you missions and so on. So he did that so he could take missions first thing. These guys had to start away from the sanctuary, and but their bonus is they get to open up one of these hexes so they can see what is without having to actually walk into there or open it up. So I think that's it. Oh yeah, the half elf took illusion, so they can cast this on themselves. -1 attack speed while targeting this hero, so makes them a little bit harder to hit. And then open gate. So if any gates appear, she can walk to them using her blue magic. So I think that's it. I think we will actually start. Oops, let me lock that and that. It is turn 1. And I think this order is random. Yep, so we draw. The bard will go first, followed by the knight, followed by the rune sword. Let me actually put the names on these jets. Bard, Knight, Knigget, and Rune Sword. Done. Okay, so how you take your turn? You get 4 of these actions every turn, and you can use them to do one of these things. So the human bard, starting here, is going to walk into the meadows. That will definitely be the first thing that she does. So that's one action. Now, as soon as she does that, so the meadows is what? I think plains? Yes, the meadows is a plains. The first thing, as soon as she does that, we draw a token tile from the bag. Just making sure the order is all random on these. It is, because so we immediately draw a token, we put it and we flip it to see what appears. I have no idea what that means. I've never seen that. Let me check real quick. So this is with an expansion, by the way. Doesn't say. That is not cool, man. Truly, that is so not cool. I'm gonna take it at sort of face value there, real quick. I'll look to see if the actual rulebook has it, but I don't think it does. So I'm going to make a quick judgment call. So it looks like we roll the mission dice, and then she immediately scores, which I'm never a fan of those. But oh well. Yeah, wilderness tile, site, treasure, special. Nope, doesn't say. So okay. Oh well. Told you I'd already screwed this up. So, We have the mission dice here. The bard looks to score 2 fame and 3 gold. 2 fame, 3 gold adds to her 9 gold, and you'll see up top we shift those numbers there. So that's one of her actions, was to get there, but nothing else appears in the tile. So there's no sights or anything like that. So I think she's going to go 2. 3, and then she is going to sneak. Oh, and sneak is there. So what sneak means is that if she has to hide, back to Skyrim, if she has to hide, she's going to actually be able to ignore a failure when she hides. So that is the bard. It is the knight's turn. The knight starts in the sanctuary here. He has the crone and the smuggler. Both of those are a little, dicey for the knight. What do we got here? He has 2 missions. What does the crone care about? The crone cares about intelligence. She has 3 missions. So we're going to drag the crone here, and we are going to spread out her cards. So she has Betrayer, Swamper, enter a clearing on all 5 Sinister Swamp tiles. Oof. Enter a clearing on all 5 Mountain tiles. Wow, all these missions are terrible. So, okay. She has the Orb of Far Sight. She can, in other words, you can search in different next tiles. Potion. That looks like rest. A rest bonus there. Codex of Cognition. I assume reroll a learning learn spell die, a Scepter of the Sorcerer, spell scroll. Nothing great for the knight. So we're going to grab these and group them. I suppose he will take. I mean, he can see the mountain tile there. The question is, I am going to guess. So the problem with these is simply the fact that you can't see the map. And so you don't know if a swamp tile is even going to come out until way, way later than you would want it to. So I am going to say you can take any number of these. He will take these for later, I think. He's going to group these up. He's going to hand these back to the crone. So the knight takes those. That's 1 phase to trade. So he gets Swamper and Alpiner, and I'll put those here. Swamper. So I'll put visit 5 swamp tiles, and then we'll put visit 5 mountain tiles, like that. Done. So those are his 2 quests. That is 1 phase. That was sort of a bust. Let's check. We'll do another trade phase here. Favorite restaurant in Pittsburgh? Oof. I mean, we're not super big restaurant goers in that, like I can count the last time I've been in a fancy restaurant, dude, was like never, probably for business. Right. My wife and I do like to go to Sushi Tomo out here just because it's out near us, and I happen to like sushi, and she doesn't mind some of it. So the smuggler has raw material. Complete this mission at the smith. So you can grab this card uh, and take it to the smith, he might do that instead. The dagger of bite is a great weapon, a good weapon for. I'm not sure for the knight, but it's a pretty good weapon. Ah, that's interesting. And shoes of the thief again. Interesting. Let me look real quick again. So you're gonna have to sort of live with me here for a little bit. Shoes of the thief. Um, make sure that I'm interpreting. So one thing I don't like about modern games, if I'm to be honest with you, is the iconization of everything. Like everything's all icons, and that's great. May evade as if the hero placed 3 maneuver cubes. No cubes are placed, and no cubes may be added to make it faster. So those shoes of the thief are very interesting because if you look at our halfling, the most he can do is play 2 of those cubes ever. Now, mind you, my guess is the shoes are only $6. Interesting. So the only problem is, so we only have a buck, of course. Um, we only have $1. I would like those shoes for sure. The smuggler doesn't like anybody really. He takes the least, I think, of every of your stats to haggle against. So he is the best. Like he haggles very well against you, and those cost 18 by default, and you have to reduce them down to 6, right? So it's 3 times, but then you haggle and you can try to get 2 times and 1 times. The the poor halfling knight is going to have a hell of a time haggling against that guy. He's going to, for the moment, um, for the moment. Sorry, let me spread these out again. I'm sorry, I'm sort of slow at the moment just because, like I said, I'm trying to relearn the game. So I'm going to discard the mission that I took, one of the two, which I can do, and I'm going to take raw material instead. So that's my second trade phase, and we're going to ditch Alpiner because I can see. I'm just going to put this here until we need to reshuffle. And you should refill these at all times. What I do is I always take them, and when I flip it and go, well, there's only 1 mission here, I need 3, then I draw extra missions and put them in because otherwise I'll forget. So that's 2 of his phases. His third phase is going to be to explore here. So we get to draw a tile and put it here. So entering, and we'll put it like that because we don't want to enter if we can help it. These cost 2, these swamps to enter. And then his fourth phase could be to enter there, and he would draw the tile, but then he would not be hidden or sneaking, which could be a little bit dangerous. So he's used 3 of his he's used 3 of his 4 actions already. Does he go in and go for it, hoping to sneak away? Sure, we'll use the fact that we are sneaky. So he's going to go there. And then he's going to draw from the swamps. He gets to draw, and it's almost always good to draw these. How do you feel about Realm Speak? I love Realm Speak. I think Realm Speak is first off an amazing freaking program to have encoded the rules of Magic Realm. To have encoded the rules of Magic Realm is pretty darn I say brilliant, but that's good stuff. Um, I like playing by myself. The only problem with Realm Speak is very simple. I play a variant of Magic Realm that doesn't exist in Realm Speak, and so that's not that's a problem. So we get to draw an item. So we're going to draw an item. I don't love the draw random thing as when you go in, like, hey, you gotta, but that's why it's useful to go in here early. Like going in first is the key because there's the chance that you get a random thing. And indeed, the knight drew a helmet. Now he can't wear the helmet because he's wearing chainmail already, so he's going to put the helmet in his backpack, and he is done with his turn. And then finally, we see the rune sword. It's the rune sword's turn to go. So I would say that the rune sword is going to obviously. So the rune sword will sneak. So we'll put a cube in the sneak. That's one action. The second action is go into here, which allows her to draw the mountain token here. And so we flip it, and it is a sight. So now we draw, so that's interesting. So now we're going to draw a sight tile, a sight token, and it is the hideout in 3. Oh, geez, I don't know what the hell the hideout is. What is the hideout? We set up the hideout. So the hideout has 2 deep treasures and 4 treasures. And possibly these 4 bandits. Now, let me read the damn hideout to make sure that I am. Bandit summoning. Desolation includes additional treasure sites to which the bandits may be summoned. The bandits may appear at the hideout, secret cache, or with wrecked wagons. The red arrow next to the bandits indicates that the bandits can be summoned to multiple locations and the chips for the bandits might be located somewhere else. The bandits may summon from the setup cards or the map. If on the map, they will not leave a treasure site clearing that contains a hero. If the bandits are summoned to multiple clearings simultaneously, they appear at the one containing the hero, earliest in the turn order. Okay. So in other words, the bandits can actually roam around the map based on their different hideouts. In this case, no one's here yet, right? So okay, that's the day. Everybody's used their day. So now we roll the summoning dice. I mean, it's mostly. JJ said, "I like the map system. Is this mostly combat focused?" I'd say it's very similar to Magic Realm in the sense that it is exploration and hopefully sneak some treasures focused, and then you fight, and that could be a mess depending, right? But it is largely it's a pick your battles focused. How's that game? And this game's a little more open with regards to there's a little more randomness in the combat with than Magic Realm. And so you have a little bit more leeway in fighting, I think, whereas Magic Realm's a tiny bit more rigid. So let's see where we're at first thing. So we're going to summon. And so we handle the white dice first. That's the rule. And so swamps summon. And so you'll see that swamps summon giant serpents, and we get one of them. That's the number. So we're going to get a giant serpent. Where the hell's the giant serpent? One giant serpent. And that giant serpent appears on our buddy who did not sneak. But we'll see how that works in a minute. Next, this symbol appears, and this is, I don't even know what that is, bone, I think. And so this summons, oops, it was bone, sorry. And so this summons adult dragons to here. One adult dragon. In the mountains, I think. No? Adult dragon. There we go. into the meadows. I'm sorry, not into the mountains, into the damn meadow. So we have 2 shards. And then this hex summons nothing because none of the symbols match up. So that's where we stand. And now we have to roll. So we're gonna do the bard first. So the bard is sneaking. So the bard can hide. So the dragon immediately tries to block the bard. And what we're looking for is not this symbol. But since she snuck, she gets to ignore one of those symbols. And so she's going to ignore that one, of course. And she is not blocked. She is now hidden. Over here, now he has to see. Now he is not hidden. He can re-roll a die. And he's going to re-roll this die. And he is not blocked either. So because the halflings are super sneaky, so they always get to re-roll a die regardless. So that is the day. We have to decide whether we're fighting or not. So real quick, so here you see the adult dragon does 2 points of damage. His attack speed is 1. His defense speed is 3. He has 3 hit points, and he is armed. There you go. So that means 1 sharpness star. So this short sword does 1 point and sharpness of damage, or 2 points and 1 sharp. But that sharp goes away against the dragon. So she cannot outright kill this thing. She would need to do 3 points. So she would need to have 3 red slots on her weapon and be able to put 3 cubes down to kill this thing, because she has to equal or exceed its hit points. If it was unarmored, the sharpness star would do. The little sharpness symbol would also add a point of damage, and so she could kill it. So the best she can do is wound it, which takes 1 point off of it, and so on. So she can kill it in as the quickest 2 rounds. On the other side, it casts Fireball. And you can see it has an attack speed of 2 and a defense speed of 2. Same thing. So the adult dragon, I'm going to say the bard is going to pass for the moment. I say she's just gonna pass. Over here, the halfling knight, giant serpent. So the halfling knight. Now, one thing to keep a note is she has armor. So if you have armor, that is sort of proof against getting instantly killed. Because the worst that can happen is he busts up your armor and you take a wound. And a wound is you remove a cube from play. Either one of these hearts or one of these guys from play. So his attack speed is 0 on this side, and his defense speed is 2. And on this side, he does 2 points and a sharpness star. So pretty dicey. But we do have a shield. We only have to do 2 hit points. So I'm going to say, let's run a combat. Ooh, 4 points of freaking damage now. Oh, that's not cool at all. Let's assume we're going for this. So how are we going to play this? So the first thing is you cannot attack from hiding in melee. You have to. So unlike, say, a Magic Realm where you get the freebie attack, we don't get that. We have to challenge the serpent, which we will challenge the serpent. So the serpent is challenged and ready to go. So we need to play 2 cubes like that for certain. Now, we're not alerted, so the most amount of cubes we can play is 5. If we alerted today, that's another action. We would be able to play 6 cubes. So that's a little bit of a bad thing on our part. So to avoid getting... So 1, 2, 3, 4, the best we could do... So if he flips... So if he flips... So let's say he doesn't flip. So what you got to do is, so every monster has two sides. Every monster has a chance to flip every turn. And the chance to flip is, where the hell is it? I think it is this guy. And is it one die coming up? Once I'm gonna roll. I gotta check real quick. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Monster tactics. Roll 1 hide die. If it shows a monster symbol, flip it. So on a single hide die, I believe the chance is 1/3 that they flip, because I think it's two. Yeah, it's two faces. So there's a 1/3 chance that he flips. If he does not flip, then I'm faster than his attack, so that's good. I'm going to equal his defense. If I flip, then I will hit him first, because my attack is the same speed as his. So I'm going to go with this play. So we put 2 might in our longsword. We put 2 attack speed and 1 defense speed. So that's 5 cubes. That's the play. So now I think we check. So we have played our cubes. And now we roll to see if he flips over or not. He does not flip over. So let's then resolve this attack. So to resolve this attack, we go in speed order. My attack is first because I have 2 cubes versus his 0 speed. So we have to roll to hit. We do not overspeed him, let's call it. And that would be if my speed was greater than his defense speed. We do if he flips, which is what I was sort of counting on. But that's not what happened. So we equal. So we need to roll, and we need symbols of any type on here. Blanks are a miss. So if either symbol is a blank, we miss, but everything otherwise hits, and that is a hit. So we hit the serpent. We do 2 damage plus the sharpness, minus 1 because he's armored. That's 2. That is enough to kill the serpent. And he's done. And that's it. Now his attack, if he did get to attack the serpent, since his attack is slower than our move, so his 0 is slower than 1 defense, he would have to roll the 2 hit symbols, like I actually did on him. Because mine was equal, I could have rolled these also. So there's an equal symbol. So I think it's 1/3 are hits, and then there's an extra equal symbol, and then half of them are blanks. And any blank would be a miss. So I think it's about a 25% chance to hit, right? I think. Yes, because there are 3 hit symbols on a die, 1 equal symbol. So you have a 2/3 and 2/3, a 4/9 chance to hit if you equal them. So 4/9 is about 44%, give or take, an infinite decimal. You have a 25% chance to hit if you do not, if you're under his speed, and then if you overspeed his defense, you automatically hit like undercutting a magic realm. So we hit the giant serpent, we kill the giant serpent. Serpent is dead. I put him aside somewhere, I think, and we get 10 fame. So the knight gets 10 fame. And that's the day. That's the combat. Next day. So sorry, that took forever. I apologize. Next day, the rune sword goes first, followed by the knight. So the rune sword, I suppose, wants to grab this hideout, right? Like, I suppose. So I think we're gonna. So keep in mind that we have to spend 2 actions to move into a mountain because you see the red there. So that's going to be 2. We take all the sneaky bits off. Like you remove all these obviously at the beginning of the day. So we used 2 to move. We're going to use 1 to sneak still in case the bandits show. And now we're going to use 1 to search. And 1 to search is not ideal, but we're going to try it anyway. To search, you need 2 of the little symbols here. And we fail. And that's the day. Next is the knight. So the knight is going to go 1, 2 because we know that this tile is tapped out. There was an item there. He picked it up. It's done. He found the helmet of a dead adventurer probably. So he goes 1, 2 back to here. He's going to explore for his 3rd action. He's going to put a tile here. And he has to obviously make it work. I think we're going to go... is there a quick... Going to go that way. We can place it on... And the funny part, we can place it on either side, too. So you're allowed to put it on either side, and you're allowed to put it any facing as long as everything lines up. So 1, 2. This is 3. And then I think, again, we're just going to use that sneaky to go, yep, and we enter. And so we draw one of the plains tiles here immediately and flip it. And it is a site. So we get a site. We draw one of the random sites. The altar in 3. So let's go over to the altar. It's here. Now, so what happens is so there's 3, I think in the base game, there are 3 terrain packs. A terrain pack is 5 tiles, a civilization tile, a bunch of chits, obviously, and the monsters. And the base game came with the mountains, caves, and the woods. The desolation expansion comes with the swamps and the plains. They add more tiles, of course, more monsters, more treasure sites, and so on. So the altar. Let's set the altar up. So we click there. The altar could have the demon. It has 4 deep treasures and a treasure. A deep treasure is a cooler treasure, but he is done. And then we are on to the last character, which is the bard. Bard's got to get out of dodge, or she has to hide or sneak. I think she's just going to get out of dodge. So 1, 2. She is going to explore here. That's 3. And she is going to place this down. Ew, I don't like that at all. Go like that. So typically, when you lay a tile, you have to lay it beside two things, and everything has to line up correctly. If you're exploring in the explore mode, you don't have to always follow that rule exactly. You have to play as legally as you can, sort of. So she can't move into them. She cannot leave this place. She's going to sneak. That costs 2. And she used 3 to go where she is, and now she is sneaking. That's the end of the day. We're going to roll on the monsters here. We'll roll right up with everybody. So first thing is first, the mountains. So do we have any mountains? I think it looks like, I bet you we do. Yes, we do. So we draw 2 juvenile dragons to the hideout. 2 juvie dragons. 1, 2. So 2 juvenile dragons appear there. I don't think anyone else. And then do we have any goblinoids or, orcs or goblins? I don't think so. I don't think so. None. So just the juvenile dragons in the hideout. Oof. I don't like juvenile dragons because they are quick. I'm not a big fan. So, the rune sword is going to roll the hide dice. The rune sword did sneak. So 1 blank is enough to be hidden, and she is hidden. So, do you fight these guys? Ugh. We got a little bit of armor. She could cast. And that would help her a great deal, to be quite honest with you. Because their attack speed would be 1 slower attacking her. She would have to wound that cube, but that's not a huge deal. And then she would step out and she would fight. And their attack speeds would be 0 or 1. So not terrible. Problem is, she does have to do the 2 dice, so she can only play 5 dice. She could only play 5 dice. So 2 of them would have to go here. So she would have to play like this. The safest way would be to play like this, but then that would only give her 1 cube to swing. Now, the funny part is that's as good as she can do in a fight. So alerting does her no good. That's the sort of in this fight. Playing a 6th cube, she only has 5 combat cubes. She has 2 magic cubes. So this is as good as she can do. Does that win the fight? If they flip, they are highly defensive. So she is never going to beat their. She's never going to be faster than them. She can equal them on this side. That is a craptastic. That's not a good fight for her either. If they flip, they are slower than her still. She plays like that. They could equal. So she could equal their. So I'm just playing this out in my head. She could either equal this guy's speed and have a 50-ish% chance to hit him. Then she would have to hope this guy doesn't flip. And if he flips, well, he's equal to her. Okay. So she is going to cast. So the first thing she's going to do is wound her gray for illusion. So for the combat, everyone suffers a -1 to their speed while targeting this hero. Then she steps out to fight. She is going to target, and we're just going to put a good old white cube on her target. We're going to target this guy. Okay. So that is what's going to matter. Let me drag over cubes. Okay, so this is how we're playing. 2 attack, 1 defense, 2 strength. Does the first dragon flip or not? He does. That sucks a little bit. Does the second dragon flip? He does not. So our attack is faster because it's the same speed but longer, is largely what that is. So we have to roll, and we have to roll 2. Oops, I don't like that these dice. We need to toggle the snapping. They shouldn't be snapping to anything. And we have the crap chance to hit. We have to roll 2 hit symbols, not to slow down the game, but you declare a sneak on the turn before the character actually sneaks. So Theron sneaking is one of your actions that day. So you normally get 4 actions, 4 moves or searches or whatever. If you sneak, that takes one of those, and you only get 3 others. And what sneaking does is it makes your hiding more effective. So when the monster actually comes to grab you or block you, then you have to roll the hide dice, and your sneak, the fact that you were sneaking makes that more effective. So she had to put one of her cubes over here, which means she only had 3 more cubes to do stuff that day. So it's not the turn before as much as it is that day. And monsters then appear at the end of the day, effectively, right? So we got to roll 2 hit symbols. This is not good. This is not a good look for her, and she misses. Now this guy attacks. His attack speed is 1 because remember he is slowed by illusion. We're looking for blanks, and we get a blank, so he misses. This guy also is going to swing here, and he also misses. So everybody misses. A lot of missing. Done. Now, can combat end in a stalemate like Magic Realm or not? That's a good question. End of combat. Ambush. No. Clean up. Adjust equipment. 2 consecutive rounds of combat without anyone wounding or dying. So we actually wounded this turn because of the illusion. So the answer is the answer there seems to be that. So that's 1. So yeah, so we're still good to go here. So we're going to go after this guy now because he is slower on defense and also does more damage. You'll notice on this side, these guys are a little weaker. So good enough. So this is how we're going to play. We need to roll for both these guys to see if they flip. First him. He doesn't flip. That's good. That's good if he doesn't flip. And this guy does flip. Gosh, darn it. Okay. So we need to roll, and we need to roll 2 hit symbols. And we do. So 2 hit symbols. We're going to do 2 damage plus a sharpness star. That's 3 damage. -1 because of armor is 2. That hits this dragon and kills it. And he is dead. Now this dragon attacks back. Remember, his attack speed is 1. He misses. Done. Next round. We're attacking him, of course. Does he flip? He does not flip. We need 2 hit symbols. We do not get 2 hit symbols. The dragon swings back. Now he only needs equal symbols. Thought it's good the dragon flip because it is good, but here's so what I'm looking for, and so yes and no. Actually, by the way, the one that I was swinging at, I went on this side because then I equal my attack speed equals his defense speed, and it's easier to hit because one of these symbols will also hit. On this side, because I am slower than his defense, I have to roll that. It's effectively the difference between a 50% chance to hit or a 44% chance to hit and a 25% chance to hit. So I wanted one of the guys to be on this side and the other one to be on this side so that I could attack this one and have this one, if he hits me, hit me weakly, if that makes sense. But I missed, I think, and now this guy's going to swing back. And he needs equal signs, which sort of sucks, and he is going to miss also. So that is that 2 rounds where nothing happened? Sorry, I did lose the thread here a moment. So we killed him. I'm going to let this go one more round. I might have screwed up, but we'll see. So we're going to swing now. We're looking for this guy to. He does flip. So now my attack is 2. His defense is 2. So equal signs will hit. No, I still miss, by the way. Now he's going to take a shot, and his attack is super slow, so only hit symbols hit. And he misses. So that's 2 rounds where nothing has happened, and we are done. The combat ends. This dragon's still there, by the way, but that combat ends. She does score 10 fame, so we will give the rune sword 10 fame also. 10 fame essentially is every fame is a 10th of a point, a victory point. And it also counts toward some wacky stuff in that you can buy titles for victory points here at some of the dwellings. So I think that's our day. The rune sword fought the dragon. She fled from there. The knight saw the altar, didn't quite find it yet, and we are ready for the next day. So let's move on to day 3. So everybody pulls their cubes back. The snap points on these are quite snappy. So, who goes in what order? It's the rune sword again. So the rune sword. So the first thing the rune sword is going to do is sneak. That's the first action. So now, as soon as that happens, because the dragon is right there, the dragon is going to try to block the rune sword because as soon as you end an action with a monster or the monster appears in your clearing, the monster will try to block you. So because we ended an action, the monster is going to try to block us. Now that's why we snuck first. So we snuck first, but the monster doesn't care. The monster finds us, and now we are blocked. So now we have to fight it. We don't have a choice. Like that thing's going to come, and then we're fighting. So done. And okay. Well, I mean that's sort of where we're at. Oh, that was the bard, by the way. Wrong sheet. There we go. So next is the knight. I think 1, 2, 3. And we will sneak this time just to make sure we're not found. And now the human bard. What is the bard going to do? So I think the bard will sneak. So everybody's going to sneak today. She moves up into the mountain. So she gets to draw one of the tiles. It is a site tile. It is the Shrine in 4. Okay. And her last turn will be to explore here. And you see the Putrid Waters. Yeah, I don't see a huge. So she could play like that, and that would give her an easy way back. I don't know that that necessarily matters. Might just play like this. Yeah, we'll just play like that. And that's she doesn't get the move in. So we are done. So now we do still have to roll monsters. Hopefully no more monsters come to the peaks there. So the first thing is the forest. So we're looking for forest symbols. I don't think anyone is on the forest. Next, we're looking for the claw marks here. No, no, and no. So no monsters today up here. But we do still have a fight because this dragon has found our rune sword. So now the rune sword has a conundrum. The rune sword does not get to play illusion. Her cube is wounded. She's not hidden. We're sort of stuck now a little bit. So I think she's going to play like that. Yeah, she is. It's not great, by the way. That -1, that blur, that illusion was really helpful, but so now she's playing defensive. She does not want to. She doesn't. If she can't play one cube here, because if he flips, he auto hits her. Now, auto hitting her for 1 isn't the worst. Do you play? So it largely comes down to this. This is the cube she has sort of a little bit of play with, right? Does she assume he's not going to flip, in which case she equals his defense speed and thus gets a 44% chance to hit? But if the thing flips, he auto hits her because his attack speed is more than her defense. Or do you do that and assume it's not going to flip? Oh. This gives her a 2/3 chance to hit him because there's a 2/3 chance he doesn't flip. Oh, yeah, that's the play. I'm pretty sure that's the play. So we're going to play like this. What that means is her defense speed is 0. When he flips, he's going to hit her. If he doesn't flip, he hits her. But if he doesn't flip, we beat her defense speed, or we beat it. So we hit automatically and kill the dragon. If he flips, our attack still goes off first because our attack speed is still faster than her attack speed, the dragon's attack speed, I should say. And we have a 44% chance to hit him first and kill him. So I think this is the play this time. She's going to go all out attack. And we're going to roll to see if the dragon flips or not. He does not. Our attack is first. We beat its defense. That is an automatic hit for 2 points of damage and a sharpness star, which is negated by armor. And we kill the dragon. That's 10 more points. For the rune sword, she has 20 fame. And she takes sort of a little mini lead there. We'll actually put these back. And you'll have to excuse the sort of jauntiness of them because I just threw snap points on those cards to put those to put the cubes on. So that is our 3rd day. And now it is time for our 4th day. And I think the Rune Sword's pretty happy because she just cleared out that thing. So she's going first, and then the Knight. So the Rune Sword is going to search 3 times, and then she'll decide if she sneaks or not. So searching, let's take cubes off of the sheets. So searching utilizes these dice. You need 2 looking glass symbols to find a thing. However, if you search more than once in a row, you can re-roll the dice, any of the dice. So if she gets 1 looking glass, she can re-roll the other die. So it's good to do multiple searches in a day. It's kind of like being thorough, right? So let's roll it. So this is the first search. Nothing. Second search. Oh, come on, give me at least 1 looking glass. Done. Found it. So she has found the hideout. So what I do when she finds when they find a thing is I copy the chit. That's the nice thing about Tabletop Simulator is you can do that. I'll copy the chit. I'll put a little mini one somewhere so we know she has found the hideout. Now she can loot the hideout. That's going to be her third action is to loot. To loot, you roll the looty dice. 5. Ooh, she gets the 5th treasure. You always take the highest numbered treasure. The good stuff's always on top, by the way. And if you roll higher than the number of cards in the pile, you get nothing. So she drew the 5th card. Enchanted treasure. I have no idea what that is, by the way. So let me look and see what the hell it is. What is enchanted treasure? I think that's from the whatchamacall. No? Okay. Well, there you go. I thought that was from the expansion. Presumably I was mistaken. Enchanted treasure. Instant. Draw a treasure card from the pool to replace this treasure. The map tile in which the treasure was drawn is flipped over and enchanted. Place a magic cube in the map tile, matching the color of the magic cube shown. Then remove the enchanted treasure card from the game. So, okay. So it looks like we get a treasure card from the pile, just the plain old pile here. So we shuffle and draw, and that goes to her. Oh, okay. So a couple things are going to happen. So then we put a white cube here. Where's the rune sword? There. And this gets flipped. And we are still in 3. So we need to make sure that we remember. That wasn't so exciting. Like there's not, some of the paths change when you enchant. But this has white magic, so anyone, and that's sort of a nothing burger for this crew, because that would give us a white cube at all times for our spells. But the fact of the matter is that there's no one with white casting, so done. This card is removed from the game, so we will simply discard it over here. She, however, got the Earthen Cincture. Okay. It goes on her belt slot. It gives her a green cube. Doesn't really help her much yet. It does mean she can learn those types of spells. But since this is a red banner here, she gets a legend point and 5 fame just for showing it to the world. So she wouldn't have to show it if she wanted to keep it hidden or whatever, but she would show it and take the legend point. So legend points are victory points. So technically she has right now, if she quit the game, 3 victory points because every one of those fame points is a 10th. So she searched twice. She looted once. She has to decide whether she's going to sneak or not. I think she will sneak just to be safe. No point in screwing this up. Tomorrow she's going to loot the hell out of this place. And she is done. Next is the Knight. The Knight has not yet found the altar, but he is going to search for it. So we're going to roll search dice for the night here. So here we go. First search, nothing. But you do have one, so that's good. So we're going to roll the second search. Done. The altar is discovered by the knight. Make that the tiniest bit just to put it beside like that. Done. So now we found it. Now we're going to loot. That's our third roll. Oops. Well, don't worry about the D. We get the second treasure. I believe. I don't think that grabby hand works unless you get two of them, but I will check real quick. What does grabby hand mean, boss? Two grabby hands. You can look at the top three and take one. In this case, we just get the second one from the altar. Where's the altar? Altar is here. So we're going to grab the second treasure. It is a deep treasure. Oh my. Holy crow. He draws mythic chainmail. Interesting. Mithril chainmail. I'm sorry. So the mithril chainmail, it's not really better than his chainmail. It protects. So you'll notice it has 3 points of defense, meaning that you need to do at least 3 points to damage it. But what it does is it's lighter. I don't know that he's going to put that on. It doesn't do any more than this does. What he's going to do, though, is he's going to show it to the world here, and the knight gets a point in 5 fame. And he's going to keep it in his backpack because he's going to sell that bad boy, is what he's going to do. Done. That was a loot. And then he has to decide again, so he has one more phase here, one more action. Now he's sneaky, so if something does appear, he still has a better chance to avoid it than anyone else does in the game. So does he sneak or does he just press it the tiniest bit more? Now things can go bad real fast in this game because you could draw, because again, remember you're rolling 2 dice, so you could draw twice on this same tile and get like a whole gaggle of money. You get like 6 dudes on you at one spam, and you're like, oh. So it could go real bad real fast. It is truly better to play it safe. Especially since we're in second place right now. And we could easily run back to the sanctuary, sell our mithril, or sell for $27 all this crap, and then go buy, say, the shoes that we wanted, which gives us an automatic 3 defense, which is pretty good all of a sudden. So I think we're going to sneak and just make sure. Done. And the last person to play is the Bard. And the Bard is not sitting looting treasure sites all day. She does see one. Bard's going to do one last thing, though. The Bard is going to enter. So that's one move. She gets a swamp that she gets to pull. So 1. Ooh, it's a gate in 5. And don't get me wrong, that's a tiny bit pointless for her at the moment. You need another gate for it to be worthwhile to her. Now, the Rune Sword is very interested in that because the Rune Sword has a spell which allows her to just walk to this gate at any time. Bam, and she is done. So that's 1. She's going to explore for 2. And the only way she can play that is like that, because it's the only way where these two are together. So 1, explore 2. Ugh. Ew, don't like it. I don't like it. So 1, Explorer 2, she can move into there for 3, 4, but then that would expose her to orcs and dragons possibly. She can't move back because that would cost her 2. Her option would be to hide and wait it out. Um, so I'm going to sneak and then move to the gate. Not that that's super useful, but she's going to sneak and move to the gate. And that is the day. So let's get our monster check here done and see what happens. It's going to be a mess, I can tell. The first thing is caves, which I don't think I've even seen a cave yet. And the second is orcs. Oops, that was orc dudes. Orc dudes. No orc dudes there. No orc dudes there. No orc dudes there. So it is a quiet day today. That's good. So we are beginning the next day. All right. And let's figure out who goes. Bard first. So I think the Bard is going to, sneak still. Then she's going to spend 3 phases to enchant. So she gets to copy this and put it here. So she flips it. She puts down, oops, well, I copied everything. That probably wasn't the best. So she flips it. She puts a gold cube on it. Now there's gold magic everywhere in there. So if she casts, she gets gold. Absolutely. I believe she can also use the enchanted. She can also use that path without finding it, but I'm not 1,000% sure. Let me check that. Let me make sure. Enchant a tile. If a hero, the tile that they're in is flipped over, the name of the tile should be placed so it matches the previous one, which it does. All counters are placed in the same clearing. The player removes a magic cube on the tile that exists. If it is already on there, places a magic cube from their pile, same color, onto the tile. Any permanent spells that match the color of the cube in a tile are activated immediately. Additionally, casting a spell that requires a color that matches the cube requires 1 less magic cube to cast. It doesn't say anything about. It doesn't say anything about. Searching on there, so maybe not. Oh, you know what it is? I think that is a. Is that an optional rule? Let's look that bad boy up. Sorry, I apologize. Again, looking shit up. Probably not ideal. Optional rules, enchanted paths. If a map tile is enchanted with a spell cube that matches the color, that hidden path may be used as normal. Which I'm gonna go with that. I like that actually. You don't discover it, but she can use that path now as though it's a normal path, which is what the goal ultimately was. So that's the bard's turn. She is done for the day. The knight is going. Done. The knight is going to loot at least twice, if not 3 times. So he gets to look at the top 3 and pick one. Oof, my. Okay. 1, let's keep them in order. 2, 3. Wand of the Magician. I don't love the Wand of the Magician for him, but what does it do? When casting a spell, I don't know. I cannot read. When casting targeted spells, the hero may re-roll one or two of the dice on each die roll. That's great if he was a spellcaster. Foci of the spellcaster. The hero may place one spell cube in a might box. So, the saber of the fencer. Not great. So none of these are great for our guy, if I'm to be honest. Having said that, two of these are two of these at least are, he's going to pick the one that's a great treasure and he's just going to take it and then he's going to flip it over and he's going to score his second point and now he has 20 fame. So he actually takes the lead with 4 possible fame at the end of this whole thing. So that is his, first loot was that. So he'll go again, second loot. The 5th treasure. There are only 4 treasures left, so he fails to loot. He's going to loot a 3rd time. He gets the 5th treasure, so that's another failure. When do you draw a sight tile? So when you move into one of these, you draw not a sight tile, but I don't know what to call them, a terrain tile. A wilderness token is what they call them, the official name. Some of these wilderness tokens say, hey, you find an item. Or, hey, you... I don't know what else. You get some fame and maybe gold. Or you draw a sight. A couple of them, you draw multiple tokens and put them on here. And so on. So when you see one of these come up, then a sight appears. And you draw these when you first arrive on the terrain. Does that make sense, Theron? So he's failed 2 times to loot. Man. What are we thinking here? So the one problem with our buddy here is that he's too slow to run from most everything. So we have to be at least a little bit wary. Like if the demon shows up, he can actually run from the demon, strangely enough. If the demon shows up, he can run from him. But I bet you he can't run from wolves. Can he run from wolves? I bet you he can't run from a wolf. Where are dire wolves? The plains? Can't run from wolves because their speed is faster. No. Please ask questions. Greed or prudence? Man, isn't that literally is every day for every human? Is it greed or is it prudence? Do we behave prudently or do we try to press our luck? I'm going to... He's the halfling. He's going to press his luck. He's going to loot. He's going to Frodo the shit out of this. Hold on. Bilbo the shit out of him. He gets the top treasure. So the top treasure is the Saber of the Fencer, which, again, not great for him because... Now, what it would do for him is it would allow him to play a not a might cube, but a speed cube there to do damage. The problem is that doesn't necessarily help him. He needs all the speed cubes he has for speed, not for might. So he's going to put that again in his backpack and be done. So he is done for the day. The Rune Swordswoman, she is going to loot the crap out of this hideout, I think. And she might be a little more prudent, though. I don't think she wants to get jumped. She's going to loot. Let's check her dice out. She gets the 3rd treasure from the hideout. she gets the symbol of motion. I think that is, oh, I know what that is. That is an extra move every day. So she actually gets an extra cube to put here every day. So that's one loot. She's going to get a second loot there. 5, that is nothing because I think we're down to 3 treasures now. Third loot is 2. So she gets the second card in the deck. And that is the Time Stone. I don't know what that is. One-time use. An attack in the clearing that ties the maneuver speed hits the target. Oh, it's a one-time use. So that could be important. That is literally potentially the difference between success and failure in a combat. And then she will sneak, and she is done. And that's the end of the day. And so we roll these summoning dice. Okay, so a couple things are going to happen. The first thing, any monsters in a tile with no heroes go back to their respective deck. So Adult Dragon returns. Any monsters that are on a tile with a hero move to that hero. But I don't think that is the case. Now we look for this symbol. And that's going to draw Adult Dragons to the Bard. 1. But nowhere else. So an adult dragon moves and then goes and jumps the Bard. The Bard, I believe, is sneaking, so the Bard gets to roll. Anything but double, yeah, done. So she is silent. And she gets to check to see whether she wants to try to smack down that dragon. So the Bard has the problem. So here's the problem that the Bard has. So notice here, the Bard could possibly play 2 cubes. That would do 2 and 1 sharp. 2 sharp is what I usually say. But the dragon's armored. That's what the shield symbol means. The sharp goes away. She can do 2 damage. The quickest she can kill this is 2 rounds. The first round she would do a wound, which puts a red cube on it, which reduces its health by 1. The second round, since she equals its health, she kills him. But she has to hit twice. In the meantime, he might be hitting her for 2 points of damage. Or worse, he flips and does a fireball. And a fireball is, oh god, what is a fireball? It is 2 and 2 sharp against her. And that could be a little bit of a mess. That would destroy armor the first time it hit. The second time it hit would destroy the other piece of armor and do a wound each time. Now, what she does have is she does have -1 to their maneuver speed the next time they are attacked. She can probably get this thing to be auto hit once, but she has to hit it 2 times. I think she's just going to wait this out. I think if it's not a 1-hit kill, I think she just snoozes on that one this time. And that's the end of the day. So now we remove cubes. No one is sneaking. No one has, and so on, right? Everybody's off the board. And we are... The knight is first. The Bard is second. So the knight is still sitting at the altar. There are still 3 treasures left. He has made a bundle, a killing here. He could go back and sell for 24, 33, 38 bucks, 48 bucks, right? Yeah. 48 bucks. Easily enough to then take a look through the treasures of the NPCs in the sanctuary. Does he have enough to buy anything in the sanctuary? The sanctuary, an unused spellbook, spell scroll, or tome, and you would get acclaimed scholar, and that's worth a point. He does not have a tome or a spell scroll or anything like that. What he would be doing is selling to the crone, or he would be selling to the smuggler. So I think, and he could literally make that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. He can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and just walk here and be safe because nothing ever appears in the civilization tiles. Or do you spend one more day here and get maybe the one last treasure out of there or not? Greed, prudence. Greed, prudence. I think we've already role played that this halfling knight's a tiny bit greedy. We're looting, damn it. So one more day of loots. 2, so he gets the second treasure, so it actually pays off. The not payoff would be he has a disenchanter. The disenchanter immediately disenchants any map tile it enters, taking the spell cube away. This card must always be face up in the backpack. If viewed anywhere, it becomes active and plays face up if the owner's killed. So in other words, this always, as he walks, he eats these cubes off of these tiles. It's not a huge deal. And he probably won't actually keep it because it's sort of pointless otherwise. But that's one loot. He'll do it again. 5 is a fail. Third time is probably not a charm. 5th, he doesn't. No, he's going to sneak. He doesn't want to. He's not pressing his luck at this point. Done. Bard is next. The Bard is going to get out of dodge. So she's going to go 1. That's going to cost her 2. So she goes 1, 2. Three. And then I think she's going to sneak also. So she slips away from the dragon. Is it eating the magic cubes bad? The gold cube? Well, I mean, they are good. But again, keep in mind. So first off, he has no choice. Because this just does. Like that's what it does. It's almost a cursed item, right? Not quite. It would be terrible for a mage, by the way. Because a mage would be stuck. Well, how about this? A mage couldn't use this to up his casting abilities like they normally do. So the cool thing about this cube here is that she can use it to cast this spell. Like she doesn't have to use this ever to cast a spell again. As long as she's in that tile, she can cast that for free almost, really. He's not a mage, so he doesn't really care, but a mage would hate having this around. Because enchanting is a big part of that game. But he doesn't really have a choice. This is what this does. And because he has it, anywhere he walks, it's going to just remove the cubes and disenchant the tile. So I think the Bard is done because she goes there. She gets out of the way of the dragon and goes there. And then finally, we are with the rune sword. The rune sword, I think is done. I don't think it's worth sitting here to get the 2 result. Although I will say the nice thing about this game, it's easier to get a 1 or a 2 because of those hands. The hands are effectively a 0. So it's about a 50% chance to get a hands 2 or a 1, 50 and 50. So it's about a 25% chance that she would draw a treasure, the rune sword, any given roll. So she could probably drag the last treasure out of that site, or well, one of the 2 last treasures out of that site. Probably. But instead, she's going to explore for one. So explore, and she has to be careful how she puts this down because it has to match all three roads. And this is set on random, right? Like I'm not screwing this up. Oh yeah, it's random. Okay, so that's good because I haven't seen any caves. That's why I'm like, what the hell's going on? Anyway, so we got plains, and so that's one to do that. She's going to move in for two, which means she draws a wilderness tile, and it is a gate in two. So right here. So right where she is. Now, does she have to discover the gates, or can you just use the gates? I don't know. Good question. This is actually, I'm sorry, although using the book, it'd actually be easier in this case to use the PDF, strangely enough. Oh, no, it's not. Because it'd be slightly easier to use my PDF because I can actually search the damn thing. Um, when more than one gate is revealed, the hero may travel between any two gates as though they were connected. Pay the number of actions based on the clearing into which the hero is moving. It does not talk about having to search or find. So you don't have to find them effectively. So it's one action to open this up, two actions to get here. I don't necessarily know that she wants to walk up here with the dragon. I don't think that's a thing. So I think three and then sneak. So she is snuck also. So that is the end of the day. And now we roll for monsters. So first is this. And again, you get, oh, so he moves here. Because that's what that does. Every monster who's in a tile with a hero moves to it. Every monster otherwise goes away. And then we look for this stink. And I don't think anyone's in stink. No one's in stink. Done. Bard has to roll, though. And the Bard is trying to sneak. And the Bard fails to sneak. So the Bard is blocked. And we are in a fight. Whether or not she wanted a fight, we're in a fight. Oop, I don't want to do that. 1, 2. Okay. I'm going to copy this. I'll leave that there. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make it larger. There you go. So I can see it. Okay, so there's what we're fighting. Now here's the funny part. The Bard only has to play one of her two cubes in the might column because she can't kill this thing outright. So you either kill them or you wound them for 1 point of damage. There's no in between. There's no doing 2 points of damage. You either kill the creature or you wound it, and wounding it is 1 point of damage. So given that we know that, she can focus more on speed and trying to get that one shot in. So she could play 1, 2, 3 and tie it. I don't think she... that's bad. I think she needs to play at least 2 cubes there. In case he flips, she needs to be playing 2 cubes. Now, she cannot play a weapon attack and a spell attack in the same round. And she would have to hit with this. Ugh. Sucks a little bit, actually. So the reason we would play 2 cubes here is, in this case, we hope the fireball misses. Because we don't want it to auto-hit us. That's a lot of damage all of a sudden. Now, again, she won't be killed. She will just be injured because she has armor. So she can take a couple hits from this thing before she gives up the ghost. As soon as her armor's down and he hits her, she is dead, though. 100%. So she can take 3 hits. And she has to hit him twice. So I think that is almost the question. Do you play like this? Hope he doesn't flip. If he flips, you go, well, okay, you hit me, so I'm going to take my armor and nuke the helm, as a for instance. So that would be the first hit. I think we're going to play like that. We're going to play offensive. I think playing offensive is the way to go in this case. Let's see if he flips. I'm sort of hoping he doesn't flip. He does not flip. Our attack goes first. We equal his defense speed, so we're looking for any symbols at all. No blanks. Okay. It's going to attack back, and it's looking for equals. We want blanks. We want any blank. Oh God, it hits us. Okay. That's bad. That is the worst of all possible worlds. It's going to hit us. So we're going to take it on the helm. It does 2 points of damage to the helm. The helm can only take a point of damage, and it is destroyed. So the helm is destroyed. So we're going to take that and discard it. She takes a wound, which means she has to move a cube. And so we're going to take this cube and wound it. Done. And next round. Now there's a little bit dicier because if he does flip now, he's going to destroy the chainmail, and that leaves us with a round where we have to face off with no armor against the dragon. I was hoping to hit this first round so we could either play conservative and go with that, trying to get this attack to miss if he flips, or we can play like that and be aggressive, and that breastplate will melt if he happens to flip. I say we're going for it. Heck with it. Are we? Or do we just lean back? In this case, it would be a 25% chance. That would be a 50% chance to hit. I say that boy, that's strangely enough a difficult decision. I say so this way, if he doesn't flip, it's literally a 20. Everybody hits on a 25%. This way, everybody hits on a 50%, unless he flips, in which case, I'm going to slow play it this time. So here we go. So we're going to slow play it. Does the dragon flip or not? He does not flip. Our attack goes first. We only have a 25. We have to get 2 hit symbols. We miss. The dragon has to get 2 hit symbols. He misses. So that's good. That's one round where nothing happened. We're going to play like this again. The dragon does flip. That sucks a little bit. We hit now on any symbols, and we do hit the dragon. So that's good. So what happens is we smack the dragon. We do a point of damage. 2 points, but one of those is eaten by the armor. So we're going to copy that heart and put it on the dragon. He is wounded. He's going to breathe hellfire at us, and he hits on symbols. And he hits. That does 2 plus 2-star damage. That is 3 damage to the breastplate because it eats one. So he does 2 and 2 stars. We eat one, 3 points of damage to the breastplate, melts the breastplate into its constituent metals on us. That'd probably be enough to. And we take another wound. Oh God, which is gonna have to be that because I can only play 5 cubes. I didn't alert, so it's gonna be one of these. Well, I mean, it still doesn't matter. I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna keep leave the option to play 4, even though I can't play more than 5. So I'm gonna have to take one of these. I'm gonna swap it. The dragon gets to attack and breathe free. No. The breath was the attack. The breath was the attack. The fireball is a 2 and 2. It's a it is a 2 damage and 2 sharpness star attack. It has to hit like any other attack, which it did. And so that's why it did 4 points of damage instead of 3. Now, it barely mattered to her because the armor was going to soak everything anyway. And, but for instance, if it was only 2 points and then 1 sharpness star, the armor would have only been damaged. The fact that it did that extra point is why it broke it. So she's screwed a little bit. So I think she has to go all out now. I think she has to go for it right now. So, because if he flips, if he doesn't flip, so 2/3 chance she kills him. If he flips, it's a 44% chance that she kills him. So let's see. So it's hold on, out. So 2/3 chance that she kills him, or a 44% chance that she kills him. So what, a 56% chance. So there's an 18 and a 2/3% chance that she does not kill him. So about an 80, that gives her an 80% chance of survival is going all attack. Right? So, again, not like we're narrating. It's not like this is a high narrative game, but the dragon slashes the helmet away. He breathes and just totally destroys her breastplate. She is left with ragged armor, nothing left. But she sees the opening, goes all out. I'm hoping he doesn't flip. He does not flip. So our attack is first because it's 3 speed instead of 2 speed. It auto hits because it's faster than his 2 defense. It does 2 damage and sharp, which is 2 damage, which is equal to his current health. And so she kills the dragon before he can breathe the last fireball. I just delete that one and that. So she took a little bit of a beating for sure. But she does get 12 fame, so I'm going to give the bard 12 more fame. So that's 14 fame that she has right now. And she needs a little bit of rest, a little bit of sleep. And less dragons, pretty much. So I don't think anybody else has any badness on them. That dragon is dead. So we're going to put him in the dead pile. Next day. Rune Sword is first. I mean, ugh. So what is the position? What position is the rune sword in? The rune sword is rune sword gets an extra move. We got to remember that. So I need to sort of vaguely figure out how to easily remember that the rune sword, um, or the rune sword gets an extra phase, right? As long as it's a move. So that's the one thing to note. Like all these civilization tiles, their paths do change, so they act almost like railroad switches if they're enchanted. The rune sword could enchant this tile. That would be a reason, by the way, that so interesting. I don't know that the rune sword. How much it would cost? It costs 2 actions to rest this cube, which is her best cube. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to spend 1 to explore. So that's 1. Ugly. That is an ugly. That's an ugly tile. If I'm to be honest. So we're gonna play that there. So that's 1. 2. Now this is a woods, so we're gonna draw a woods. It's a site. Now we draw a site. And that site is the grotto in 6. Well, that sort of sucks because we can't get there right now. So 1 to explore, 2 to move in, 3 to get to here, 4 to explore again. Oh, and it's the outpost. Do we want to be able to loop back? Is that important to us? Yes. I don't know that all of them wouldn't do that, so I don't know that it's a huge deal, but we're going to go like that. We roll a d6. It's a 1, so the outpost appears at the 1. Outpost in the swamp, right? Yeah, outpost is in 1. We immediately do draw 2 civilization tiles to represent the potential NPCs there. And it's empty. Wah wah. Okay, so there you go. So no one's, it's abandoned outpost. Now there's theoretically, I don't put these guys on here, but there are theoretically dudes there. I don't yet have, I don't think there's yet rules for attacking them. I don't know. I'd have to look and see. I don't think they're not in this, so wow, that is a bummer, actually. That's sort of crap right there. So 1 to open this, 2, 3, 4 to open this. That gives us 1 last extra turn because of the extra move that we get. And I'm not going to move in. This costs 2 to move into there. I'm just going to sneak. And she has done the bard. Is going to explore once to open this tile. Ooh, might not be able to play this one. No, you need 2 faces. You need 2 adjacent faces with nothing. We don't have that. So this one gets momentarily discarded until we are done. So that's one action that she used, and that's a failure to explore. We get another action. I think that's also going to fail too because I don't think we can't play that one either. Yeah, because this is a hard place to play all of a sudden. That's two. She'll do one more explore, and then she's gonna maybe have to sneak, right? Again, I don't think we can play this. It is exactly the wrong. So she has three failed explorations. She sneaks, wastes the day. She is done. The knight is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and end up back where the sanctuary is. We are done with the day today, and we're going to roll to summon some monsters. First thing we get is two interesting things are going to happen here. First thing is caves. I don't think we still haven't seen a cave yet. The caves must all be at the bottom of the deck. The second thing is any treasure sites draw. So, oh my. Okay, so the grotto is going to draw whatever's in the grotto. And I think that is whether or not, I think fairly certain. Let me make sure. I don't want to do this. Like I said, it's been a while since I played this. Yep. Okay. So guardians are summons in this tile. So who is the grotto's guardian? Good question. The grotto's guardian is where is the grotto? Is the Hydra. Ugh, that is. Let's look at that guy. So the Hydra is four. He takes 4 points of damage to kill. His attack speed and defense speed is both 3, which is pretty darn high. When it flips, it does more damage, but it's a slower attack and defense. Okay, and they appear on the site. They will wander. I think based on. Yeah, they will wander if this symbol comes up. They'll wander with the dragons here. Does anyone else? Is anyone else sitting in a site? No, that's no. That's no. This is the only one that draws because that's the only one with a hero on it. So that is the day. We'll put these away. Um, so okay, I think we're ready for the next day. Bard is first. Well, I mean, ugh. There's got to be a tile that works here. There has to be. There has to be one. There might not be. I don't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the. Yeah. So this one has two. So there must be other ones that have two sides. Now she could just head back. She could head back. But she has gotten, she of all the characters has nothing, had nothing to her name. She's not found a damn thing. Um, so let's say she explores. So she's going to explore a couple times again. One, that's a failure. I just hate like blowing through the day here. Two, also not going to work. We cannot place these. You need two adjacent whatchamacalls. Three, aha, no, nope, no tiles. Okay, this might just be futile. I mean, she might just be like, yeah, I'm good. And then she's gonna sneak and be done. Done. The rune sword. Gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 with her 4 moves. Then she's going to again. Oof. I mean, exploring here seems to be a lost proposition. She's going to explore here, and she actually gets one that fits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, explore, and she is done. She doesn't have to sneak here because the outpost, nothing ever goes. In these civilization ones, no monsters ever appear. So the rune sword is done. The knight is the last character. The knight's going to move once. The knight is going to trade with someone. Let's trade with who has the most. I think the smuggler had the cool thing, right? So we're going to trade with the smuggler. Enchanted treasure, dagger of bite, shoes of the thief. I think we would like to try for the shoes of the thief. So what we're going to do is we're going to look. We're going to sell all of our crap. We can sell so you can look, sell, and buy all in one phase. So I am going to look and sell. So that is 18, 40, 57 bucks. And so the knight makes 57 bucks. So now he has 58 bucks. And I don't think you actually need to, I don't think you need to do anything as far as selling. I think we are good with regards to selling our stuff. Okay. And that goes directly to, that's one trade. Well, that's, all but the last thing we're going to do here. So that goes with him. And now what I would like to do is I would like to buy the shoes of the thief. And I hate to say it, I'm not even going to haggle. I'm going to take the times 3. So that's 18 bucks. So we're going to subtract 18 bucks. That still gives us 40 bucks. Done. What the shoes of the thief do is they count as having played 3 speed cubes in our defense for nothing. So already, just by doing nothing, I am now faster. He's now faster defensively than he ever has. So there we go. Done. No cubes are placed. No cubes may be added to make it faster. He is done. Okay, so does he want anything else? So that's one. group those. I don't think he cares about anything else there. No. So what we're going to do, oh, he does get to draw one more mission because there's one mission missing. So we should remember that, of course. So we draw the mission because it could be a good mission, right? Kill 2 Ankheads. Uh, so currently he still has Swamper, so he still has to enter every swamp tile. Again, of which we've only seen 2. I don't love these missions. I suppose we're almost better off killing Ankheads. So we'll trade in. We'll trade in a mission there too. So we're gonna burn a mission and trade that one. So we group these cards. We're gonna flip them. We're gonna go down here. There's no penalty for burning a mission. Yeah. Done. So that would be effectively so he moved once. His trade phase consisted of selling and then buying and then taking missions. So that's 2. Done. Trade. I will, just to remind, I will trade with the crone also, just to remember what the hell she has and see if any of that makes any sense. The Orb of Farsight. Potion of Healing doesn't suck. The Orb of Farsight makes sense because it's points. You could buy it and just get points. She also does get 2 more missions because I think since we've drawn her out of missions, we can pull 2. We flip them. I think I'm okay for now. We're already at the crone, so we can't have that one at all. I say we're going to shoot to buy the orb here. I don't know that I'm going to buy it for 33. I will try to haggle with her one time. This is a bad idea. We need to roll 1s on the haggle die because our intelligence is only 1. She respects intelligence. We only have 1 intelligence, so we need a 1 or less. We fail. So that trade phase is bogus. Done. And we have 1 more phase remaining. And I say we're just going to go to there, and we're done. And that is the end of our day. A fairly successful day for the knight. Knight's pretty happy with it. Well, we're rolling. There's caves and orcs. And I don't think either of those appear. So it's another quiet day. So it's quieted down a little bit after a little bit of a wild and woolly start there. The knight will go first. So the knight is going to explore once. So his 1 will be to explore here. We need one blank hex side, so that's a fail. So 1 is explore, and that's failed. 2 is this, we'll explore again. We'll take the blank hex side there. We'll go 3 and we will sneak. It's the secret cache in 5. So when you discover the secret cache, you get 20 bucks and a treasure, and you take it immediately. I do enjoy this game. I think it is. So I'll tell you what. Let me finish this day out, and then we will talk a little bit, if that's okay. I don't want to lose track of the day, though. The Bard is next. The Bard's pissed because the Bard has tried to find a tile to go there for 2 days. She can't make whatever this is. This is a lake or something. I don't know. She tries to find passage through and has just failed each time. I think, what would the goal be then? So she's in the worst shape, I feel. Oop, oop, oop. Yeah. So I think that she's going to. So she's going to spend 2 actions. She's going to spend 3 actions. She's going to sneak, spend 3 actions. It's going to rest her cubes. So she gets 2 of those back. And now she is done. So that's an easy one for her. The rune sword. So the rune sword is going to jump into there. Because we do get a woods. It's an item. So just a plain old item. Nothing super sexy about it. She gets to draw a mundane item. It is, what is this? A stick? She got a stick. She got a friggin' stick. She's like, stick. It's like the Charlie Brown. I found a rock. So, okay. What do we got here? Cave again. It is definitely a cave. Yes, cave. No caves. No, there's not a cave in sight so far. Did we even put the caves in here? And then treasure site, which I don't think anybody's sitting on a treasure site tile anymore. Oh, no. No, that's not true. That is not true at all. The secret cache draws the 4 bandits. Ooh, that is sort of dicey. Those bandits are not. Those bandits are not to be trifled with. I'll tell you what. Okay. So what I want you to do is give me. What time is it? 10:30. Give me 5 minutes, please, to hit the restroom. I will chat a little bit about how I feel about this game. Back in 5 minutes, and I'll go get a drink and so on. So give me a little bit. I'll be back. Sorry, Dustin. I'm putting your question off, but I'm not. I'm not really. Um, All right, we did pick up a little bit of Rabbit Hole bourbon, um, which was a gift. I would thank my boss, but I'm actually hoping he's not watching me play games on YouTube because that would be weird and maybe embarrassing. I don't know. So I'll give you one more minute, and then just to make sure if you're make sure you're here, Dustin. I mean, if I go into the talk about what I feel about the game, and then like you're not here, I'll be like, oh, that was crappy on my part. In the meantime, I'm looking at these damn bandits. Very defensive. The main problem is there's freaking four of them, and so that just leaves a lot of they're pretty weak though, like one damage. This definitely a mage gets in there with a fireball and nukes like these two in a heartbeat, and maybe these guys. Because yeah, you'd have to kill him quick, but you don't want to sit there and take 2 or 3 wounds either. That's terrible. So do I enjoy this game? Well, how do I feel about this game? So here's the deal. So let's let's take a moment, and I will bloviate for a moment. Is that a word? I always. Oh, 5. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll be back in 5 minutes. The banner will come down in 10. So, um, so my favorite board game of all time is Magic Realm. It is a nine. I got it. I was 9 years old. I got the game in a Toys R Us of all things. It was a gigantic box with cool art on the front. I was just into sort of the D&D thing, right? That whole gig. Hold on, here's the box. Right? Beautiful, beautiful. And again, this is an old copy, so it's a little ratty, but gorgeous, right? And I was immediately drawn to it. Now the game was very complicated game, not you know, um, but it was an Avalon Hill. It was rated as a 9, on their catalog or whatever. It so it took me probably years off and on putzing with that game to learn how to play it. Like I always say, it took me 10 years to learn that game. I have friends who have never learned how to play the game after 30 years. You know, Avalon Hill, the one guy from Avalon Hill told a story where, a guy wrote in and said, "Hey, I have a PhD in physics and I don't understand this game." So anyway, so since that time, and I play this game, and that's how this channel started. I play Magic Realm on stream or do episodes. You can see them all if you're ever interested to see Magic Realm. I have a little variant that we play at home, and I play on the channel, and I love it, and so on and so forth. But since that time, I have always been chasing the perfect, the perfect fantasy. Oh, give me. I'm sorry. I need 1 second. I have to go yell at a cat effectively to get him to go downstairs. Give me. Sorry. Yell at the cats, by the way. So I have been chasing since 1979 the perfect. Oh, is the stream over? No. I hope not. Am I dead in the water or am I still good? It says it's good. So I've been no, the stream's not over. I'm going to continue to play, but I do want to tell this story. Since you the I've been chasing the perfect epic fantasy board game, and I differentiate that between games like Descent and Gloomhaven as dungeon crawlers, right? But the epic fantasy board game is sort of the gigantic, covers the entirety of the adventures, in a 4 hour or 6 hour or whatever, right? And and Magic Realm does it, right? You have the overland map, which is hexy with these interconnected things, and you go and you find treasure sites and you loot them, or you get attacked and you fight. Same thing that you're doing in this game. But that's the epic fantasy board game. So games like, and I use this term lightly, for Talisman, which is not really, but Talisman, Magic Realm, Return of the Heroes, I would count as one of those. Andor, I think, to a lot. Is it Andor? It was like a German game or something. Return of the Heroes, this game, Dragon's Down, Runebound, all of those I count as epic fantasy board games, right? They try to capture a fantasy D&D campaign flavor in a board game, as opposed to, say, a dungeon crawl or something of that nature. And all of those games, except for Magic Realm, suck. Like, they're just, Runebound's fine, but they all, Mage Knight, for instance, they all sort of don't capture the same feel. Or they don't capture it as well, or they over streamline it, or whatever. And Magic Realm is like the fan written rule book, the third edition or whatever rule book is 100 and some pages or whatever. So it's a gigantic book written in but you might if you're as old as I am, that numbered paragraph wargamey style. But you can hire dudes, you can attack natives, you can hide from monsters and sneak past them or fight them, loot, ride horses, delve into caves, right? I mean, it covers this weird number of scenarios that you can do. And, when you're in combat, weapon length matters, weapon speed matters, your speed matters, how quickly you fatigue matters. Oh, yeah, Magic Realm is more complicated than this by leaps and bounds. This is a modern... So this game is written by a guy... Scott Demir, I think. I probably got his name wrong. Scott is the name that I do know. And this guy loves Magic Realm also. This is like his love letter to Magic Realm. And it hits a few of the same notes. Almost all the same notes. Not all, but almost all the same notes. It does so with some clever cheese to it in terms of, like, Magic Realm was written in the 1979, so there's a lot of tables and charts and shit. There's no tables and charts in this game, right? It uses the dice to do all the things. You search. Well, you don't roll on a chart. You roll and get two spy glasses, right? You know what I mean? So it does some clever stuff with with its rules to give you sort of that same vague feel, the basic feel of the game of Magic Realm, and not doing things which modern audiences would probably be just miserable with, like looking up a table or whatever. The combat is interesting because it does give you that choice of, well, where do you play your cubes? And based on where you play your cubes, you're going to have this chance, and this is potentially going to happen, or this, and and so on. So I think it does a pretty good job. I think it does a pretty good job of hitting a lot of interesting notes from this 1979 game that I love. Now, it's probably my second favorite epic fantasy board game that I've seen. It puts the rest of them to dust. I don't know where it lands versus Magic Realm, but I bet when I get a physical copy of this hits the table more often because it'll be quicker to play and my friends will play it easier. Whereas when we play Magic Realm, I almost have to referee it to make sure that they're all doing the right shit, right? So anyway, um, are all these games spawned out of Dungeons and Dragons or inspired by it? I do think so. For all of them, no, maybe yes. I know that 1979, you're right after D&D hit and started to become wildly popular, and I think Magic Realm was Avalon Hill's answer to D&D. Now, it failed spectacularly as an answer to D&D, frankly. Um, it succeeded weirdly as a board game. It's talked about years later. There's still a niche following of Magic Realm that's pretty rabid about the damn thing. And there's a whole hunk of board games that no one's talking about nowadays. After 40 years, right? So anyway, all right. Sure, it's turn 10. I don't know that for sure, by the way, but sure it is. And the bard's going to go first, and I only have 3. And the bard, I feel a little bad. She's in this weird, rough spot, right? She hasn't quite gotten anything significant done. She's moved about a bit, and she's gotten, but hasn't quite pulled it together. I don't love the idea of going all the way up to the shrine. That's a lot of mountains, but 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then, yeah, I think she's going to hide or sneak. So she is done. The rune sword. So, yeah, Dustin, I do think that most of them were at least inspired by D&D. Magic Realm was sort of almost posed as direct competition to D&D. It never quite panned out like that. Turns out D&D was pretty damn hard to beat. Right? And it was. So we're going to go 1, 2 for her. Yeah, she's making her way. She's doing it. Well, it's sort of interesting, Theron. I don't know how younger you mean by younger, but sort of interesting because you guys, I think my son's generation brought them back from the dead. Like, realized that board games were dying, and in fact, the whole hobby before 2000 was in a tailspin a little bit. So I'm going to go 1, 2 back. I'm going to explore here for the third move. So we got another plains here. I think we'll do the Unbroken Lands. But I don't think we're going to outright. I don't think we're going to outright. I think we're going to hide still. We're going to sneak. We're going to play it safe for a day or two until we see something that we're, Yeah, I think so. So, yeah, keep in mind that there was a period of time that I remember in the 80s, so the 70s, 80s, and early 90s were the heyday of like RPGs and stuff, and that sort of started to die in the 90s. Of course, you had more video games, right? You had more of that shit that was just got huge. And all that shit died a bit, and obviously Magic the Gathering sort of helped bring it back. My buddy owns a game store, and he said, "Yeah, Magic the Gathering was like life support for game stores." And the knight has to go here. So the knight, I don't love the knight's chances against all 4 of those guys. I really don't. He has acquitted himself pretty well, and the Shoes of the Thief are great, but I don't think that's where we're going. I think we're going 1, 2, explore 3. Oops. I think that's our first cave. Just appeared, by the way. And we can't play it. Oh, maybe we can play it. Yes, we can. We can play that like that. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Done. So 1, 2, he explores 3. He goes in for 4 because he's going to use his sneaky. And he wants to draw that first cave wilderness tile. And it's a gate in 3. So we got a lot of gates actually out. But that is it for our 3 folks. But yeah, like Magic the Gathering sort of saved gaming. The Euro saved made card games big and sort of kept game stores alive for that certain period. But then what really brought the resurgence back was Euro games like Catan, board games that weren't monster board games like Magic Realms or Starfleet Battles with 100-page rule books and tons of counters to punch out and so on. Euros brought board gaming. And that was a lot of younger folks, I think. So let's roll the summoning dice and see what monsters. Let's get some monsters out here, guys. So mountains first. I don't think mountains are going to pop. He's in an outpost, so she doesn't count. And then stink. No. So we luck out there a tiny bit. He drew a gate. Okay, done. The knight is first. And the knight's going to go 1, 2, 3. He's going to steal the unbroken lands. He's a jerk. So he gets to flip that one. Oh, he gets the wrecked wagons. I don't even know what that is. Oh, the bandits can go there. I see. Wait, did it drag the bandits? Oh, it dragged. That's not cool. That's not cool. That it drags the bandits away from where they're at. That's not really what it's supposed to do. The bandits are where they are. They're at the secret grove. They could go. Maybe it's my group of friends. We just play Pathfinder and otherwise all video games. Well, I mean, Pathfinder, we don't play a lot of board games either, frankly. To be quite honest with you, I do not play a lot of board games with my friends. I play a little bit more with my family. My kids will play, and there are certain games that my wife will play, like Wingspan, and so on. And so, so there's a little bit there where you can go on a holiday or on a weekend and you can get a game out or whatever. But yeah, my friends, we mostly when we get together, we're mostly doing table. So the wrecked wagons look like it's $20 and 2 treasures, and you take them all when you find it. And there you go. So done. So the night is done. The bard, 1, 2, and this is a little bit rough. How about 1, 2? She'll go 1, 2, 3, and then she's going to sneak again. So she'll be snucked there a little bit. And I suppose he can go here, right? So he go 1, 2, 3, and he either has to sneak or not. He will sneak just because there's no point in getting on the thing just yet. And then the rune sword is going to go in. 1, search. Fail. That's 2. This is 3. Succeed. So she finds the wrecked wagons. Now, the wrecked wagons aren't really a treasure site. They're just like an event almost, right? She just gets those things. She takes them all when found, and it's done. The wrecked wagons are now, there's nothing there anymore. I mean, I don't even know that, is it discarded when it's done? The hero that first finds the wrecked wagons receives the legend point. Oh, right. Oh, God. Okay, yes. Legend point and fame reward, and takes the 2 treasures and gold as if they perform successful loot actions. Okay, so keep in mind, we're a little bit behind on points, too. So finding one of these, also the first person to get to these also gets the points. So the knight is one more legend point and five more fame. And the rune sword is also because they both found these first. Since they found the wrecked wagons, so I'm going to just copy and paste that there because they get another point and five fame like that. But they also get two treasures and $20. So that's sort of cool. Now I don't need this. That's sort of silly. I love the witchmacall, but it's pointless to actually have a giant coin when you're keeping track of money elsewise. So we'll delete that. She gets the Tome of Power and the Dust of Destiny. I assume that's rerolls. Reroll one die or dice in which you're the active hero, the target, or the attacker. Phew. Put that in the backpack. Does she really need a purple? You know what? I mean, they're not super useful right off the bat. They would be useful if she found any scrolls or books. So that is that for that's it for her. So she searched, and then I think she sneaks to finish out her turn. And now we roll all the evil dice. And let's see, maybe we're drawing a bunch of crap. So yeah, we're gonna draw these first. So first thing is first, any monster on a tile with no one goes away. So these go away. They're not dead. They just momentarily go away. And then these guys go here because they're in a tile with the wrecked wagon, and the bandits show up. And unfortunately, I also grabbed the secret place too. So the secret cache, which was here. The rune sword will immediately try to hide with the bonus for sneaking, and she is hidden. Again, and this is a way better fight if this cube is in play, to be honest with you. If the cube's in play, all of a sudden, this slow defense speed she has no longer matters, and she can sort of roll with it. But right now, I think we're just going to lend. There's nothing to be gained by fighting, except for fame, of course. There's always fame to be gained by fighting, but there's really not much to be gained by fighting these guys at the moment. So I think she just lets it slide, and we go into another day. There's a lot of dues. Like this would be one where if you're playing co-op, you'd go to the knight and go, "Hey, you want to split these guys because it's going to be worth 10 fame." Now, mind you, they're both vying for the lead. Hold on, I'll make sure the score. Yeah, they're both vying for the lead. So that's a little bit of a rough sell, I think, for either of them. But raw material, go to the smith. He's got to find the smith. Okay, so let's draw the next day. So it's the rune knight, the rune sword first. Um, well, one. So does the rune sword have any? I mean, she's got gold. Got gold. You might at that point look for spells because she also has a lot of magic cubes that are sort of in play, right? Um, think we just go one, two, three, and we're going to explore this tile up here for our fourth. And I don't necessarily want to appear on a cave. Done. That's her turn. The knight. No reason. No reason to go here. No reason to go there. Now with that 3 defense, he's really, really hard to hit by these guys. But there's still 4 of these guys. You could certainly probably get in a couple quick kills because you don't have to play any feet anymore. You can play 3 and 2, right, if you want to, or 2 and 3 cubes, and that's great. Or alert and play 3 and 3, and you can go nuts. And he can. So 3, 3, and 3. It's like 3 attack speed, 3 defense speed, and three sharp damage is huge. He's like a whirlwind with those shoes. Having said that, you can only kill one of these guys at a time. You're only killing one. You're only killing one at a time. In the meantime, they're all taking pot shots at you. And that could be 25% pot shots, but they're all taking pot shots at you. So you might be taking 2 or 3 wounds in a, like a bad turn. A bad turn sees you taking 3 wounds. That's unlikely, highly unlikely. It is way more likely that you take 1 or 2 wounds that first turn. And then whittle it down to 2 guys, right? But boy, if you miss that one of those attacks, if you miss that second attack, like how many of these guys can dodge a 3 attack? I'm trying to talk myself into it. He could kill the executioner, and so in turn 1 you kill this guy, turn 2 you kill this guy. These guys plink away at you, hopefully missing. And then this is the cleanup. But the problem is on that first turn you kill this guy because this guy can rip through some of your armor. But let's say 2 of these guys hit, then you're down 2 wounds. Those are all the excess wounds you can take before you're starting to bleed into, like you would have to wound one of these. One of these is now useless because you can't play. I mean, he could probably do it. He could probably do it primarily because of those stupid shoes. You're only talking a bit of fame. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go 1 and explore first. Before anything else, let's just see what else is around us here. The ancient hull. So 1, 2. We're going to go 3 because we can. That's a cave. That's an item. So he just gets a rando item. An extra shield. Won't do him much good in any given fight, but this shield could go away. He just pulls the other one out later. So that's 1. So explore. So that's 1. Explore. So 3. So this is his third move. I think the fourth move we just sneak and sort of hang out there for a second. So Both him and the rune sword are done. And now it is time for the bard, who's making her way. 1, 2. Darn it. That's a shitty. That is a little bit of a crappy. It's a little bit of a crappy whatchamacall. 1, 2. But what she will do is she will alert and she will sneak. So those are her last 2 moves. And she'll be at the shrine tomorrow. So let's see what the monsters have in store. We haven't gotten a ton of monster action yet. But now we're getting mountains, so nothing. And the stink, the stench, and nothing. And we are done. And it is the next day. The night goes. Well, I'm going to go 1 and then search again, just because. And that's 2, because you might as well. Because you might get a site. There you go. So another site appears. It is the crypt in 5. So as soon as you enter a cave, you lose one of your actions. So you don't go from 4 actions a day to 3 actions a day. So caves are very, very dangerous to just because you get less chances to search, less chances to sneak. So we get 1, 2. I'm going to search for this path. I need 2 of these symbols. I don't get them. 3, and I'm going to go 4 and search for this. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. One of these was a thing. So we can roll like that if we search twice. And we do find this path. And the problem is there's no good way of actually marking that we found that path. I will mark it with a little knight symbol. But he is done. The bard, 1, 2, 3, and then she sneaks, so she is done. And the rune sword, he's going to go 1. Oop, he's going to go 1. He's not going to move the outpost. He's going to go 1. Takes a mountain. Chit. It is a treasure. So he actually gets one of the small treasures here out of there. It is the symbol of knowledge. You get a learn action. It's not terrible, but it's not as good as a move. I mean, you would take it as opposed to that momentarily because it is a thing. So you go 1. 2, 3. Sneak is 4. We are done. Let's roll monsters for the day. Been quiet. Jeez. Swamps, which no one's in anymore. Of course, because we're in the mountains. So the game has turned to swamps. Now we get stink. Stink. And there's no stink. And the rune sword is first. We're going to explore out the side here. You might as well. Let's do it. Let's explore. Explore until we can explore no more. So that's 1. 1 action to explore. 2 actions to enter. It is a gate in 4. Ugh. Do we have... So 1 to explore, 2 to enter. And then these are all mountains. So that would take his entire turn to go there. I don't think he's going to do that. I think she is going to... And again, alerting is pointless. She's... I think she'll just. I mean, she's just going to sneak, but then what she needs to do is she needs to rest, get that gray chip back. So she'll sneak and done. The knight. One. So he only has 3 actions today. So that's the first action is 1. His second action is 2. His third action is failed. Ooh, womp womp. Okay, done. No sneaking for the knight. And our bard is going to search. Search for that shrine, right? It's a shrine. Yep, shrine it up. 1. That's 1 action. 2 actions. This is it. No. 3 actions. Yes. So she finds the shrine. I'm reasonably happy for her. So there you go. V. So we're going to put that up there. She has found the shrine. That is 1 legend point, 5 fame. And again, do you sneak or do you just putz with it? I think I'm going to sneak just because I don't want to get jumped by all the dragons. Done. I mean, we haven't been, but as soon as I don't sneak, it's going to go all awry. First thing is caves. We're going to get 2 giant bats. 2 giant bats. 1, 2. And that is on the knight, who hasn't snuck, by the way. So 2 giant bats. Next, anything else in caves? I don't think so, but I do think we get bones, and bones is up here, and it's going to be 1 adult dragon. Oh man, oof! Back to this, huh? Now she is snuck, I believe. So let's check the knight first. The knight hasn't snuck, but the knight can re-roll a die. So he's going to re-roll this die, of course. And if it's blank, which it's not, so he fails. The bats are on him. The bard is sneaking, so either die can come up blank, and it does. So she is not blocked. But she does have to rethink her life choices here because now that dragon, remember, the problem with that dragon is you can't you don't oh, she has no armor. Oh god. Wow. Okay, that's bad. So if it does 2 points, she dies because of any hit you take that is equal to your health. So fireball does, and so this guy couldn't hit her. If he hits her at all, she's dead. You have to have armor to take those hits. Or this thing has to do less than your hit points. And this does 2, which is equal to her hit points. She is dead. Or 2, because fireball is 2, and 2 sharpness. So fighting that dragon, not a good scene, actually, here. So if you had armor, you'd be in the same position you were before, whereas you could lock it out. How fast is this thing normally? 3. And it's too fast to run from. If she does get caught. So, okay. So she's not fighting. She's good to go at the moment. This guy has to fight. So giant bat, the knight, 2 guys. We didn't alert. We're not hidden. They take a point to kill. So we're going to play 1 point on our sword. And we can play 4 points here. Their attack speed could be up to 2. So I think you either have to. So I think we play. if we play 3 attack speed, if they flip, we do a little better. On this side, not doing much. I'm gonna put a red cube on one of them to denote my target. Oops, nope, that's a little big. You could play like this. You could play like this. If they flip, at that point, since your speed really doesn't even matter, you could play like that much. Like you could play anything because you're only gonna hit them on a 25% chance. They're gonna hit you on a 25. Oh, he doesn't. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? This is all a moot point. He plays like this because he can. He plays 3 of those. He's automatically playing 3 of the boots. So he doesn't even play anything here. He just plays this. So that's how he's playing. Done. So it does simplify his combat choices, doesn't it? So okay, does the first guy flip or not? He does. Does the second guy flip or not? He does not. So our attack goes first because we are the fastest attack. We are equal to his defense speed, so we hit on all symbols. But we can't have a blank. You can never see a blank. If you see a blank, you've missed. We see a blank. We've missed. The first bat attacks, and it has to get hit symbols and it misses. And the second bat attacks, and it has to get hit symbols because of the boots. And it misses because that's not a hit symbol. That's a hit on equal, and our speeds are not equal. His attack speed is a 1 versus our 3 defense because of the boots. The boots make all the difference. So one thing I love about this game and Magic Realm is that a single item can change you up. Like you don't gain experience in these games, Magic Realm or this one, unlike, say, Runebound or unlike Mage Knight, where you level up. Here, you level up by getting gear, and the gear you get then fundamentally changes the way you can play certain things. So that's the first round. Nothing has happened. So if nothing happens this round, we're gonna be done. So we're attacking this guy because he's the Slowbie. We're hoping he does not flip. He does. That's too bad. The second guy flips. So that's also, it is what it is. We have to attack him, but we're only going to hit on 2 hit symbols. We miss. This guy attacks. He misses. This guy attacks. Oops. He's like that. He also misses because his attack speed is slower than us. And that's it. The combat's over. We stalemate against these bats. They can't hit me. I can't hit them. They go back to menacingly flitting around. The problem there is that what happens is you keep getting more shit in here because they don't stop coming. You keep rolling every turn that you're on here. And so every day something else can show up, and then that makes it worse and worse and worse. So killing those bats would have been useful, but we could not. Got to figure out what the bard's going to do. So it is the bard's turn. If she had armor, I think she fights that dragon again to clear that out, but she doesn't. So she is going to escape combat here effectively. And go 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And fine. That's fine. So she's done. She will sneak. She's going to head and try to find, say, another place to go. What is he going to do? You only cast spells at night, by the way. Like, not at night, but at combat, effectively. So he would have had to cast last night. I do give myself the benefit of the doubt, because I'm playing 3-handed, that I can retro and go, oh, yeah, I wanted to actually do this thing last night. I might wanted to have done a thing last night. um, so I want to have cast last night. So last night I will cast. I will wound this chit to cast Open Gate, and I am going to appear at this gate. And there you go. And my day then today is 1. So let me see what this. Yeah, see this. So 1, 2, 3, sneak. So snuck. The knight. I think the knight is going to sneak, but that means that these guys get to try to block him instantly. They do not. The alerting doesn't matter. So he's going to search. He finds the crypt. So the bats are tweeting around like nutty, right? And he finds the crypt. That gives him another legend point and another 5 fame. So that does put him absolutely in the lead with 7 potential points. But he snuck and then he searched. And did he search twice or did he search once? Darn it. That is way too bad that I cannot remember that. I say I am going to. So we'll loot the crypt then. We'll let him loot the crypt. Where is the crypt? There catacombs, the crypt. Oh, the crypt with the lich. And he picks the top 3 and he keeps the one he wants out of there. So 1, 2, 3. And he's going to flip them all. I mean, the Spear of Piercing doesn't suck. Let's look at it compared to what he's carrying. So he's carrying a long sword now. So were he to use this one-handed with the shield, he could go up to here. But that would do 4 damage and not 3 damage because it has 2 sharpness symbols. So he could technically do more. So that is better. It's 1 extra point of damage effectively. As long as he goes up to there. He could use it 2-handed to get 3+ damage, which is possibly useful. Again, you could do up to 5 points. That's pretty big stuff. I think he takes it and just swaps that out right now. Although he is giving up points effectively, like plain old points. And he is done. And that is the day. Everybody has gone. So now we roll. And we get Mountains 1. That's okay. Oop, and we're gonna get something down here though. We're gonna get owl bears and just owl bears. Owl bears, 2 of them. Ooh, 2 owl bears. That doesn't sound good, by the way. Owl bears sounds a little dicey. On the rune sword. Owlbears do 3 damage. They are slow attackers. How many hit points do they have? 3. Ugh, crap. I mean, she can do it. Okay, I have search dice everywhere. Like I must have copied and pasted these things everywhere. She can do it. She can do 3 damage against an unarmored creature. Having said that, man, they can hit like a truck too. First off, let's see if she is hidden. Like, she might not even have to consider this fight. She is hidden. So she is not found by them right off the bat. So I think she's going to hold off this time. The knight was also not found. So once he's not found for the rest of the day. He is going to engage in battle, though, 100%, because he wants to get rid of these guys. These guys are just dangers. That more stuff's going to come. So he has his 3 defense. He has his 3 attack. He's going to play his 2 more. Done. It's not going to matter, of course. And he's going to attack the first guy. Does the first guy flip? He doesn't. Does the second guy flip? Does not. So we have a 25% chance of hitting. We need 2 hit symbols to hit. We miss. Does the first bat hit us? No. Does the second bat hit us? Yes, the second bat hits. Because it doesn't matter that we have 3 to his 1. All he needs to roll is double symbols. It's going to bounce off the shield, but it will wound us. 100% wound us. We're going to wound one of these chits right now because it is redundant. Same thing, we're attacking the top guy. He doesn't flip. Does the second guy flip? No. Do we hit the first guy? Yes, we do. We do a point, more than a point of damage. We do a point of damage. We kill him. Does the bat hit us? This bat? No. Okay. Now we're attacking that guy. Does he flip? We're hoping he does because we'll have a slightly better chance. He does not. We're looking for double hit symbols. Nope. Fail. Does he hit us? We're looking for not double hits. There you go. That's the first round for a stalemate because we killed the guy the last round. Same thing, attacking him. We're looking for a flip symbol. We do get it. Now we hit on equals because our 3 cubes equal his defense. So 44%. We miss. we still miss. We still miss. Come on. The bat attacks us and hits us. So we have to wound again. So we're going to wound, I think, this guy because we only need to play 2. So, okay. So we're back at it. Does this guy flip or not? We actually hope he does not flip, and he doesn't. Do we hit him? Looking for equals? No. Looking for him to miss? He misses. All right, that's the first round. Nothing happens. He flips this time. So now we have a 25% chance to hit. We miss. The bat, misses. That's the second combat round. Nothing has happened. This bat goes back. We kill 1 bat, we get the 8 fame for it. and the knight is solidly winning all categories. Well, not solidly, but you know what I mean. He is he is doing reasonably well. How's that? Where do these bats go? Doesn't really matter. Okay, so he's not fighting the owlbear, and we are done. At least not this turn. I think he'll maybe go back and fight the owlbears, but I think he needs to rest a little bit. All right, the bard is a little disgruntled, I think. So every woods towel has a flip, has a path. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3. And then I think she is going to sneak again. Because, again, I don't think she can risk it at the moment with no armor. So she's done. The rune guy moves up into Sanctuary. And then he is going to spend 3 actions to rest his 2 cubes. And he is done. No need to hide because you're in a Sanctuary. The knight is going to sneak so he does not get gang tackled by bats. By the single bat, he does not because he snuck. He's going to loot twice. 4th treasure, which he can pull the 4th treasure. It's a dancing sword. Well, first off, it's yet another point for him. I mean, it's not a bad weapon. It's like a best short sword you could ever have because its attack speed is always up by 1. He gets another legend point for just showing it to the group and 5 fame. The group's getting a little tired of him showing them great treasures, by the way. So that's 1 loot. He gets 1 more loot before he is done with his day. 3rd treasure in the pile. It's another deep treasure. It's the jeweled thief's skull. It's worth nothing. It's worth 31. It doesn't do jack. But it is a jeweled, and he gets another point. And he's up to 48. That's his day. And then finally, that's it. That is finally. That is all the things. Let's roll monsters here. And we get monsters in the plains, which is her. So she is going to get 1 dire wolf on her. And then in the stink, which I don't think is anybody. So she gets a dire wolf. Could be a little dicey. And he's fighting the bat. We're just going to do... Oh, and yeah, he doesn't get any... He's going to fight the bat again. So it's bad time. The only problem is that he did take damage last time, so it's not an absolute given here that this all goes super well. He's going to hit this bat. He's probably looking for it to flip. It does. He now hits on all symbols, and he misses. Does the bat hit him? Yes, the bat hits him. He takes another wound. Wow. Be sort of humorous if the bat killed him, but let's hope not. Bat flips again. He hits on a 25%. He misses. The bat hits on the 25%. He misses because this is an equals and not a thing. That is 1 round where nothing's happened. The bat flips the next round. This is the one, and he hits the bat and kills it. Done. 8 more fame. He's up to 56. Let's real quick check our bard lady here. So first off, is she found? She has snuck, and she is not found. Now she can cast a targeted spell without. So she can on round one cast this spell like that. She has to hit him, and if so, his defense speed will go down by one the next time. Let's just fight it out because I'm probably going to stop here. Yeah, it's 11:30, so I probably will stop here at the end. Let's see if she can take this guy out and at least acquit herself a tiny bit. So she's targeting him. Ideally, he flips, and if he does, she auto hits him. Otherwise, she has to roll it. He does not flip, which is too damn bad. But sort of goes with her luck, I think, this game. So now she has to roll any symbols. No blanks, no blanks. And she doesn't. So she hits him with the spell pop. So he is hit with the spell. This only lasts for a single attack. Now she has to roll hiding because she ambushed and he's going to find her. I think it's either. I think when you ambush, it's any symbols bring you out of hiding. But you can do your attacks. So it's a little bit of an advantage to ranged and spellcasters, but then not because it's actually really hard to stay in stealth. Ambush. They must attempt to hide. They cannot use any modifiers to the roll. So not sneak, not whatever. So she is found. So she is fighting this guy this round. However, he's going to take a -1 to his maneuver speed, which means his speed is at best a 2. So she is going to play 1 cube there. That does 2 damage because there's a sharp there, right? So 1 cube there. She's going to play 3 and then 4. But that's not going to matter because she will auto hit and kill it with this spell. So let's see if it flips just for giggles. It does not flip. Its maneuver speed is 2 versus her 3. She overspeeds it, I call it. That's an automatic hit for 1 plus sharp damage, so 2 damage. She kills the dire wolf. That's 27. And she doesn't even have to wound that because it's not a wound. It's just, she just has to, so done. So dire wolf dead. She can kill, from hidden, she can kill dire wolf. A single one all day. Multiples start to suck. Although she can clink one and then the other and then the other, as long as she doesn't get unhidden, but it's hard to stay hidden. You have to roll double blank, which is not easy to do. So where we ended up really was pretty much the knight wins. I mean, the knight. And one thing I do think about this game is that I think it is reasonably easy to pull ahead. Like, I do think there's a little bit of that where, if you find the lucky place, with place with a lot of deep treasures or whatever, I think you can get ahead pretty easily. But I mean, it's not like everybody else doesn't have the chance to do that also. The only things I don't love about this game, I think this is a well put together game. I do think it fits that epic fantasy board game genre. I think it is up there close to Magic Realm, which is a convoluted, messy masterpiece, especially for 1979 when it was put out. If Magic Realm was put out today, it would be crazy because it'd be, because nowadays production value is the shit, right? Everybody's we'll put miniatures in, and we're going to put, right, thick marble, or whatever, right? Just, um, at the time when Avalon Hill did put Magic Realm out, the whole fight was to cut shit as much as possible to get as little in that box as possible, because it was already, you had like a 40-page rule book. I think the first edition was like 30 some pages, 40 pages. You had 20 cardboard hexagonal tiles. You had hundreds counters, 100 plus counters, hundreds of counters. Decks, little decks of cards, and it was very much a, how could we make this not weigh as, how could we cut our printing costs, right? Everything was about the cost at the time. And now everything's about like production value, right? You're kickstarting these, blah, blah, blah. People are paying $200-$300 for a board game. How do we make it worth $200-$300? So what do I like about this game? The movement. I think the movement's good. I think the maps are good. I think the combat is clever. I think the items are pretty good and pretty clever. The things. So I think in those ways, it captures a lot of Magic Realm, the essence of it, in a really good, really fine way. I think the things I don't like are, I don't love the spells in all cases. I think some of the spells are fine. I think the spells are decent enough. But I think there's some where I question sort of the overall utility of, like dark matter. I think it's hard to use a lot of the spells. I think, and I think the game actively discourages some of, like, for instance, I mean, she could cast Hesitation. But if there were two wolves, that would be a rough time, because her chance of staying hidden the whole time would be rough. And so getting use out of some of the spells, I think, is difficult. I'd have to go over each of them to go, this is like dark matter is the one I go, yeah, I don't see where you use that unless you're in a team. And I don't like, for a competitive game, ultimately, I don't love the, hey, this 1/5 of your options, or 1x percent of your options, are only good in this one case where someone teams up with you. Because if I see that you have that spell, maybe I just don't bother, right? You've wasted your spell slot. Anyway. And the only other thing I don't super love is, it always behooves you to get into one of these tiles first, because too many of them are just, you get treasure or you get an item, and so on. So that's not horrible. It's just, I almost wish there were just something else with that, because it's sort of a boring, hey, you get a free widget, is sort of dull. Now, it might not be dull for a player, and maybe that's just a quick way to, but I wish there were something else you could do. I don't like the missions. There you go. You got me, because I was going to forget. Thank you. Thanks. I don't like the missions. I think the missions are actually not super exciting. Now, I understand why they are how they are. I get it. Like, what else are you going to do in a game like this? You're not going to have these super deep missions. That this is the game is trying to abstract that whole thing, and so you largely have fetch quests. You largely have go here, do this, right, and so on. But I do think that, especially in the Explore game, where you're calling, like, so the other version of the game, you lay all the tiles down, and so you know what the map looks like at the beginning. And then you start at the edge of the board, and then work your way sort of through the board that way. And so you know what the tiles are like, you know what they look like. So you can look at one of these and go, oh, I'm never going to get to the smith, because, right now you might not necessarily know where the smith is in some of these. So I think the missions are either super easy to complete because some wacky board thing happens, or they're a pain in the butt to complete. And I mean, they're certainly worth doing if you get enough crap to do them. But I don't know, they're not super fun. How's that? So I don't love them, but I don't know what else you would do there. And anything that I do, like I said, I have a variant for Magic Realm, which is all about these mini quests. But that falls into the same problem: is they can be very hard to complete based on the map layout and so on. And part of the game then becomes looking at the map layout and going, I can do this one. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this one. I need to dump this one and get something else, right? So um, if you're ever on and I'm playing Magic Realm, come and hang out for a little bit and we can chat about that game. I don't love the missions, but again, I don't know what else I would do. So I don't have anything sort of better that I would go, oh, you should be doing this, or so on. I mean, I think you might be able to putz with it a little bit, but you have to be careful too because, again, this is going to be a physical board game. So, for instance, you might do something like go, um, pick a tile with a gate, put these monsters there. If you go kill these monsters, you get a thing. Right? You could do that. I give the player a little bit of agency in there, and he picks that and goes, "Okay, I'm going to pick this tile and put this thing down on it because it's the closest one to me, and I can do that." And so I think maybe I would like something closer to that, where you have a little bit of ability to control it somewhat, so that you can look at the board and go, I'm going to utilize this board this way and do this thing. Um, a little bit more choice and a little bit less map dependent. Like if you go kill Ankhegs, you really mean, and I would keep that one anyway, you know, but the one like with the Smith that never came up. Like you would never see that in this map. And I love the map. I love the way the map sort of goes when you do the explore thing. It's sort of cool, especially because you don't have to follow the rules. So these maps can become wonky because the rules technically this is not a legal play. If we were laying this tile ahead of time, you have to touch two. Once you put the second tile out, you have to touch two tiles. So a play like this doesn't work, but it works in the explore game because you're allowed to violate that rule because you were exploring this specifically. So I do sort of like that, and I love the way this map ended up. But I was never going to complete that Smith mission. And in fact, if you look at the board, um, I only met two NPCs, and this outpost was empty. So you can end up with sort of wacky stuff like that. Now, if this wasn't empty, then you would have seen a lot more missions. Like the rune guy would have picked up missions and so on. So, you know, it is what it is. I have to think about it. There probably are missions you could sub in, which would make them a little bit more, dynamic or interact, and so on. Maybe, I don't know. Or even some where maybe you can change the board a little bit, right? You can. Oh, you heard a rumor that that the one of these treasure sites, you can move it a tile and go, oh, okay, well, I heard that the grotto's actually here. Now, I don't know that that makes a lot of sense, but, um, but maybe that's a thing, right? Or something like that. I don't know. There would be something to think about. Anyway, so I do appreciate you guys watching me play this game. I understand that that's, you know, a lot of folks are like, "Hey, where's Skyrim?" And I'm like, no, I'm not playing. I mean, sorry. Um, will you still keep playing this game, or is it back to Magic Realm? The two can coexist. Oh, 100%. Like I said, so here's the thing. This is it's a different experience. B, when I with physically, like when I physically get this in October, I think these are being shipped. I bet you this hits the table more often because I can probably whip this out and, like I said, get a bunch of my tabletop friends to play, and they'll grok this a lot easier than they do Magic Realm. And I think it'll be an easier sell. I think the turns can go quicker just because, right, and so on. So absolutely. I mean, this just goes in my closet somewhere, and I will continue to play this and that. And I think this design is fairly clever. If your goal was to write a love letter to Magic Realm in 2020s, that was a little more modern sensibility, and a little less 1979, but still hit a lot of the same points with some clever dice mechanics. I think this is a really well done game. All my bitches are sort of little widgets, like details, things that you could think about and probably either house rule or really don't matter much, or are still as good as they're gonna be. And the fact that they're not soup, like the missions. I think the missions are not terrible. They're about what they need to be. They're just not super fun, in my opinion. All right, man. So Theron, thank you. Dustin, thanks for chatting. JJ, thank you very much for showing up. And that is it, guys. I will talk to you all later on this week. I did Skyrim today, and I might just continue that for a little bit and maybe throw some DDO in. I'm almost thinking of, I hate to say this, I'm almost thinking of killing New Vegas, just because I just need a change. I just need a little bit different. And Skyrim's an easier sell for me than playing New Vegas most days. I do like New Vegas, but so anyway, I'll talk to you guys later about. I'll throw something on the channel. So talk to you guys later. Thanks a lot. Have a good